If you're in your early 20s and you feel absolutely lost, you're not broken, dude. You're fine. You're all right. You and I, we're still young. When you're in your 20s, you're at the starting line of the most important decade of your life. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact framework that took me from a 19-year-old university dropout to working directly with 9-figure entrepreneurs and multi-million-dollar brands. Now, for those who are new here, my name is Farid. And at 19 years old, I made one of the scariest decisions of my life. I dropped out of university to chase my dreams of entrepreneurship. No safety plan, no backup plan, just pure belief in myself that there was something bigger for me waiting at the end. And since then, I've been blessed with opportunities I honestly couldn't have imagined. I've moved out to the Gold Coast, which is basically like the Miami of Australia. Right now, I'm actively building my own brand, and it's a watch brand, and it's the one that I'm wearing right now. I'm building it from the ground up, and I'm taking this brand to what I believe will be a multi-million-dollar company. I'm using this channel to document the whole thing from $0 to $100 million, wherever that might take me. I'm gonna be sharing the wins, the losses, the lessons, everything. So if you want to follow along, then subscribe. I hope that this video is going to change everything, because from what I've learned, the difference between people who build extraordinary lives and people who stay stuck, it isn't talent, it isn't luck, it's this. You see, me moving out and working with multi-million-dollar brands didn't happen by accident. It actually happened because of one thing. I learned how to set goals that actually work. Goals that pulled me forward even when I felt like everything was impossible. And today I'm breaking down the exact system and the mindsets that I wish someone taught me when I was 19 years old and lost. Now, here's the thing that nobody tells you about your 20s. Everyone is faking it. Everyone looks like they have their shit together on the outside, because to be honest, I feel like social media has really peddled this fake persona and aura of people's lives that you feel behind. Trust me, you're not behind, bro. It's like you're in the same position as everyone else, because most people are actually making goals that go nowhere, and as a result they have to post more flexy shit about like their travels and their food that they're eating, because to be honest, they actually have no idea where they're going. And I know that because I used to be one of those people. Like, I'm talking about writing down goals in a journal and then just completely forgetting it, waking up late at noon feeling like absolute garbage, procrastinating on the things that I needed to do, feeling stuck, like I was wasting my potential while everyone was moving forward in life. That's how I felt when I was 19, 20, when I was just starting this journey of mine. I would write down vague goals. I'm going to make $10 million by this year. And then 3 months later, the same goals were just collecting dust on my notes app. The reason why was because they were never real goals that hit me inside. Honestly, I would say like they were just wishes disguised as ambition. And if you can relate to that, you can actually feel like the pain inside of you. And here's what I learned the hard way, is that most people fail at goal setting because they do it completely backwards. Because here's what I actually got wrong, is that I used to set short-term goals without a properly defined long-term vision. It's like I was moving towards something, but I wasn't moving towards something that actually mattered to me in the long term. And I wasted a lot of time doing that. And even after getting an opportunity to work with really successful people, I still felt stuck. I had this burning desire to build something massive, but I was my own limiting belief. I kept procrastinating, I kept making excuses to myself, and deep down I felt really shit about it, to be honest. Like, I tried setting goals the way everyone told me how. Small, achievable, realistic goals. And what happened? I achieved them, but I felt nothing, and I did not go anywhere with it. Because they didn't connect me to anything bigger, and they didn't move me emotionally. It was just like a to-do list, and it felt like I was just ticking stuff off the to-do list just for the sake of it. And that was really bad. But it all changed after one conversation I had. So I was in New Zealand, Queenstown, and we had a group dinner, and one of the guys that sat across from me was a guy who sold over $4 billion of real estate every single year in Australia. The aura was that I was a bit intimidated in that moment because I didn't really know how to strike conversation. So I was just sitting there awkwardly. So then he asked me this one question. So, Farid, what have you been doing for the past few years? And then I froze up and told him my story. I dropped out at university at 19 years old to pursue entrepreneurship and walked him through exactly what I talked to you about. I told him that one of the biggest bottlenecks in my life is that I need to increase my work ethic, and I'm stuck because of a fear of failure. I kept procrastinating on things. I couldn't take action. And so he raised his eyebrows, leaned back, and he went quiet for a few seconds. And then he leaned back in, did this gesture, and then he said, while smirking a bit, "So how does that make you feel?" And I didn't even hesitate. I just said, "Shit." And then he leaned back in his chair. And what he said next hit me like a freight train. He said, "That's your answer. You've only got one life. If you don't take action now, Before you know it, you're going to be 40 years old, broke and depressed. And dude, that moment shook something inside of me that still sticks with me to this day. This is a story that I'm going to tell everyone when I make it. Like, this is genuinely one of those canon events that happened to me. And so I walked away from that conversation in just full reflection mode of my entire life prior. Even though other people may have looked up to me and said, wow, I work with multi-million-dollar brands and stuff. And to be honest, I still felt stuck until that moment. And I realized that I was just lying to myself. I've been procrastinating on my goals because deep down, they weren't real. They weren't pulling me. They were just ideas that I thought I should want. And that's the worst trap that any young person could possibly have, especially with all these gurus peddling new business models and pulling you in the direction, e-com, dropshipping, agency, AI automation. All of these business models work, but does it work for you is my question. And it was a question to myself as well. And it was until recently, which is why I wanted to film this video, that something clicked within me that allowed me to unlock this level of pushing through hard shit. I started to achieve the actual big goals of my life, like moving out at 21, working with a 9-figure entrepreneur, starting my own brand. Like, all of these things started to become reality, and I started working towards them. And it is this: the moment you stop trying to prove other people right and start focusing on proving yourself wrong is when everything unlocks. I'll say that again. The moment you stop trying to prove other people right and instead focus on trying to prove yourself wrong is when everything unlocks. What that means is that you stop looking for other people to validate your actions, to ask for advice for someone. No, a lot of people try to ask for advice, and all they need to do is just take action towards that one thing, and they would already figure out their answer. But so many people are just so scared of taking that first leap and taking that first step that they get stuck, and they get stuck for months and maybe sometimes even years. And I almost fell into that trap until I realized that I'm my own limiting belief. And if I can prove myself wrong, if I can prove myself that I can achieve financial freedom, I'm going to go do it. That's a different level of drive that will be unlocked through this one simple mindset trick, is that you are no longer looking at other people as a means of competition. You are looking inwards to yourself. You are your own competition. You are your own enemy. You are your own hater. So prove yourself wrong and everything will unlock. Genuinely, that's what I realized, and that's suddenly, as a result, people started to respect me more. I started to get more things done. I pushed through everything that I thought was impossible. Now I moved out at the age of 21 years old, while most of my peers are still in university trying to figure out a job. I'm very blessed to be in this position, but at the same time, it was due to the effort and this epiphany moment and consistently working towards something that was meaningful to me and pushing through hardship and full trust in God that allowed me to be where I'm at today. And I'm still going to keep doing this until I achieve my big long-term goals. And I'm still on that journey. So I want to share with you this framework that I've been talking about that you can use right now on how to actually set goals that get you to act, which is the most important thing. First things first is you need to set a goal that is really big, something big, and it has to be within 5 to 10 years, ideally 10 years, because 10 years is the time horizon where it's kind of far away, dreamy in a bit, but at the same time, it's not too far away. It's not 20 years away where you can't comprehend it. And this long-term goal has to be insanely delusional to you. It has to be relative to you. For me, something that is absolutely almost delusional, making $1 billion within 10 years. So I wrote that down. $1 billion. That's a lot of freaking work that I need to get through within the span of 10 years for me to get to there. But I'm going to try it anyways, see how it goes. Because the reason why that is the case is because of another thing that I learned recently, is that we tend to overshoot our long-term goals and undershoot our short-term goals. Meaning, if we were to set something to be done by the end of this week, chances are we are not going to complete it. So trying to stretch that time horizon out and setting a long-term goal to just anchor your mindset and belief as to that is something that I'm going to chase and achieve. Chances are, if you do that every single day for 10 years, you're probably and most likely going to overshoot it. So why not aim big? So your long-term goal acts as the compass direction for you to set in your life. That's why it's 10 years. It gives you a general direction to work towards, whatever that may be. Fitness, wealth, relationships, etc. And you have to be specific about it. And the point of a long-term vision and long-term goal is to make it unrealistic to the point where it's almost a dream, but at the same time, you believe that you can achieve it. That's the sweet spot, I believe. Now, step 2 is making it emotionally visceral. This is the step that everyone skips and is what made me procrastinate on my goals. And this is where most people fail. They write down a goal. I want to become the man I've always become. I've always meant to be. And I want to become financially free. Dude, what does that mean, bro? It's like you're just spouting out all these guru shit that doesn't even make sense to you. And it's not who you are. You know what I mean? This goal, this long-term goal has to be authentic to who you are. Meaning that it has to move you emotionally. Why do you want to achieve this goal and why is it important to you? You have to really sit down and map this out because if you spend like a solid hour or two to map out a really solid long-term goal, that 1 or 2 hours you spend isn't wasting time. It's literally crafting and designing and engineering the rest of your life to achieve that long-term goal that you want. You don't want these goals to just be words on paper because from my experience, you're not going to take action on that. Just be honest here. You're just not going to feel it. You're not going to want to achieve it at all. It has to be something that ignites you like emotionally to the point where even if you feel like shit, you're going to do it anyways. And I guess the best way to do this is like that thing that you choose to work on shouldn't feel like work at all. Because the moment you feel resistance to it and you feel like working towards your dream is work and not something that you would do for free and you would do as play, that is not the path for you. That is when you should just reevaluate your decisions because I believe that working towards my dream, that is something that it should be worth living for. It's something that I can work 12 hours a day on and not feel bored about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like playing video games. People grind 10, 12, 14-hour days just trying to get the top rank in a shooter game. I'm not going to name names here because I used to be one of those people. But imagine that, but in real life, in the goals that you want to work towards. I feel like that's a good frame of mind to be in. Now, let me give you an example. Is that, let's say you want to buy a $50 million house. Don't just write it down. Go watch YouTube videos of real estate agents walking through $50 million to $100 million houses and just listen to the ambience, the birds chirping. Listen to how the real estate agent describes the house. One of the videos that I watched, which really ignited this imagination within me, the warm sea breeze blows into the windows and you can feel this refreshing atmosphere in the morning when you wake up, or how the morning dew and the little water droplets from the leaves or from the grass shines into your eyes when you wake up and it's like little glitters across the grass and the sun rays hit. The sunlight feels warm. It isn't too hot. It isn't too cold. It's perfect. You have to try to ignite as many senses as possible when trying to visualize your long-term vision to the point where you feel like it's already happened. And I guess the next level of this is that if you can actually walk into a $50 million house in person physically and experience it through all 5 of your senses, that's the best because I've personally been there before. Like I know how it feels like driving in a Lamborghini or walking in a $50 million house. So when I write down, I'm going to buy a $50 million house, I can pretty much imagine myself already there because I've already been there. You know what I mean? If you can't get there, then the best is probably going to be just YouTube videos or literally generating it with AI. Like use ChatGPT and describe in visceral detail what your dream house would look like, what the price point would be, etc. And let GPT generate a few images and then pick one and put it in your vision board and look at it every single day and imagine yourself in that house every single day. It should ignite you and then boom, start working towards it. That's it. Because here's the thing that I learned is that if a goal doesn't move me emotionally and if I don't look at it enough times, I would forget about it and I just wouldn't wake up for it. You will make excuses, you'll hit snooze, and you will lose all of the urgency related to the goal because the goal wasn't real for you yet. And so I briefly mentioned this before, but number 3 is to connect your why to it. Your goal needs a genuine purpose behind it. Like, why is it important that you achieve this goal right now? Why does it mean so much to you? Why does it matter to you personally? Not your parents, not your friends, but you. This is your goal. This is your life that we're talking about here, right? Is it freedom? Is it proving something to yourself? Is it creating a life that you never have to stress about money ever again? Financial freedom? Or is it building something that outlives you, that has a legacy that goes on through generations after you? Write down your why. You have to make it a part of your identity that you are going to achieve this goal. Because if you rely so much on motivation, and trust me, those days will come, dude. It's like you're not going to be motivated every time. There's going to be days when it's just going to be gloomy and shitty and you just don't feel like it. But it is that fire within you, that purpose, that realization that you need to keep walking. That is what will determine whether or not you'll be successful or whether or not you're just going to be 40 years old and broke. Genuinely, that's from every multimillionaire, 7 to 9 figures liquid cash in the bank, people that I met, that's the mindset that they have, is that they have some insane goal that they have within themselves, a real purpose that drives them every single day to wake up at 4 a.m. That's the secret. But the reason why we go through the pain of visualizing something is the fact that we need to take action every single day towards our goals in order to make it a reality. And there's another saying where it's like, the dumb doer is always going to outperform the smart planner. Pause. Write that down. That's a bar. But anyways, you can't achieve your goals if you don't do it, if you don't do the actions necessary for you to achieve them. Now, here's step 4, is that now that you have your long-term vision, you have to work backwards. If you want to achieve X in 10 years, what do you need to achieve in 5 years? And then, okay, based on that, what do I need to achieve in 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, 1 month, all the way down to the week, all the way down to the day, while keeping and maintaining that strong why that pulls you towards your long-term goal in the first place. Because like I said at the start of the video, your long-term goals exist for you to plan short-term goals. Your short-term goals exist for you to step towards your long-term goal to achieve it. So they're all interconnected. There's no disconnection between here. Like, it has to be interconnected. That's what I've learned. If it doesn't connect to your long-term goal, cut it. It's a distraction. You have to say no to it. Absolutely no to it. Oh, I should go out and hang out with my friends. Does that contribute to you making $50 million a year and being financial free? No, cut it. And here's the thing, is that your short-term goals should challenge you as well. But at the same time, make them ambitious enough, your short-term goals, that even undershooting them moves you forward. And lastly, step 5, it's the most important one, right? Like, I would say without this step, everything else would just go in the dumpster, which is why I left it to the last. But you need to have this, what I call the pain monster in the back of you, chasing you. The pain monster for me is that I never want to go back to my 18, 19, 20-year-old self where I was just procrastinating. I was just sleeping late. I was saying I would do something and I would never deliver on it. I would be unreliable. This is the past that I don't want to go back to. I used to also be depressed for months on end, and I just let time slip by me. That is something that I never want to go back ever again. As a result, that made me want to prove to myself that I actually can achieve financial freedom and I can actually work hard. That's one of the purposes, one of the whys that I have, is that I just want to prove myself that I can work like a freaking horse. I have this saying now recently, it's if I don't go to bed absolutely spent, I didn't push myself hard enough that day. But without this pain monster, you'll have something to pull you towards it, yes. But you also risk yourself returning back to your old ways, which is why so many New Year's resolutioners, they try to go to the gym and then a week in or a month in, they're gone. Trust me, I've been gymming for 5 years. You can see it in my build already. And I know every single time the January period of the gym is the most packed. It's the most packed that anyone has ever seen. Like, it's so packed, I can't use a machine. And then guarantee, like, I see all of these new faces. They look determined, they look fresh, they have this sparkle in their eyes. And then after a month, they're gone. It's freaking empty again. And in my mind, I'm like, these guys are weak. Like, they're never going to achieve their dream physique. Because I guarantee you, they don't have a why underneath it. And most importantly, they don't have a dark past, a pain monster to push them towards whatever they want to go towards, right? So the structure of the system is that you have a pain monster behind you. That is a wall behind your back. And then you have a dream outcome for you to work towards. And so the idea is that you are running away from your past to your future. And your future is pulling you away. And your past is pushing you towards that long-term goal. That's the one thing that I want you to get away from this video. And that has allowed me to just work with multimillionaires, is because they see that within me. Every action that I do, the effort that I put into my physique, my work ethic, my goal setting, the determination in my eyes, all of that has been a result of this system of a pain monster behind my back and a future dream outcome that I want to achieve so badly, that moves me so emotionally and so viscerally inside, that I would do anything in my power to resolve a problem or issue in their business. Like, they see that within me and they respect me for it. As a result, I'm blessed to be able to achieve and to be able to garner the respect of these multimillionaires as a result of this system. And this system is so powerful. Nobody's talking about this on the internet. Do you know how lucky you are? Like, for you to be watching like till the end of this video, because quite frankly, half of the internet has no idea what they're talking about. So here's what I would say to my 19-year-old self. Dude, you need to stop setting goals to prove other people right. Start setting goals to prove yourself wrong. Now, here's an action item for you to do right now. Take 30 minutes to an hour, however long you need, but you need to write down a 10-year vision for yourself. 10 years, and it has to be like freaking big. It has to be huge, to the point where, oh, I don't think I can achieve it. I don't think that's realistic. And you have to make this goal something that emotionally moves you. You have to then attach it to a why of why it's important that you achieve that goal. Make it so real that you've already achieved it, basically. Then work backwards and figure out what you need to do this year, then this month, then this week, and then every single day you have a weekly outcome to achieve your monthly outcome that achieves your yearly outcome that achieves your 10-year outcome eventually. So that's a bulletproof way of planning your entire life within the next decade, because in your 20s, like, your body is peak. Like, you can sleep late and still focus. You're at your strongest. Your body is in peak condition. So why not just grind it out within these 10 years and have 30, 40 years of easy life? Do you know what I mean? So if this video helped you, then you can watch the raw reality of me starting a business from scratch right here.